Welcome back to a brand new video. So, in today's video, the car that you're looking at right now is a car that I tuned for drag. It is a Mark IV Supra from 1998, and what I'm going to be doing with it is going into a race that I made. Actually, I made two races for this, the drag long way. We're going to do this one first, and then we'll go to that one. Now, with this car, I'm not promising a first place all every time, but I will say that it is pretty good for getting higher placements. So, this one's pretty simple. This race is the more simple one. The other one is not quite as simple. And like, I don't know if this video came out before or after the True Goliath video, but like this one, like the True Goliath, the checkpoints are further out, or skinnier. So, or skinnier. Sorry, probably couldn't see because my controller was about to fall. But yeah, like, subscribe, and we will get into the next race. The one that's genuinely going to take a little while. Like I said, I don't know if this video has come out before or after the True Goliath video, but if it hasn't, then this is about to be interesting. So, the long way drag, the one we just did, that was my first race ever created. And then it was True Goliath, then this one, and then one we'll do for another video. Yeah. So, we will, I will say this is a more complicated race. I'm just gonna throw that out there now. It's very complicated and a lot of off-road. Holy crap! Somebody said you can N4 for this. So right off the bat, you're just gonna notice there's one checkpoint a mile away, almost 2 miles away, and there's a jump, like it usually would be on the drag strip. But you're going to go over the jump, and you see another one right there. You're going to go onto that ramp, and go driving through the water, and yeah, a lot of the people are going to follow the drive line. Don't need to. How did a Porsche 911 get ahead of me? And you're going to take the jump. It really doesn't matter how you take the jump. But, so, I recommend this car, the Supra, with a drag tune on it, because something I've found is drag tunes are really good off-road. Like, I don't know how that would be possible, but I've found that it is possible that drag tunes are better off-road. Like, I'm pretty sure they're good for drag races, but I found that they're really good for off-road racing. Like, one example of that is a Honda Civic Type R with a drag tune doing an off-road race. I don't know how. Alright, there we go. That is a possibility to happen. You go flying on one of those sand pits, but few reverse insurance, perfectly fine. Now you may notice I'm wearing the same shirt. That's because I'm recording all these videos the same day. Same day, same recording session. But okay. and there's like a sharp turn. But this is just an off-road section. Future me. Cut to when it's interesting. You know, future me, I'm just not realizing this. This is literally, this race is off-road, so just, cut them back here. So, ow. If I haven't already said it, I can't remember already, but if you want to test this tune out or this track out, the share codes will be in the description, and yeah, you can go ahead and use those share codes. Enjoy them. Oh, yep, again. Oh, wait. Yes. Okay. I'll say I'm not using rewind on this. Oh my gosh, it actually worked. Alright, so that portion will get a lot of people stuck. If you don't have a decent amount of speed or you don't see it coming, one note I can make on this race is pay attention to the mini-map while you're racing, because if you don't, you are gonna have moments where you don't know where you're going. So if you notice me like looking at the mini-map while going, that's why. It's very difficult. What's crazy is I made this race using the Supra, this exact Supra, just not with the livery on it, and I still am driving it pretty much a little bit better, a little bit worse than I did when I made it. It is. But yeah, like, subscribe, share codes will be in the description. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's another thing. If you get on that part, if you catch yourself going on the road, you're not supposed to. You're supposed to be off-road. You're supposed to be on this like dark. You're supposed to be pretty much going around that dark section. Now, yeah, there are ways to cheese the map, kind of, but I wouldn't recommend it if you want a true racing experience. This is a really good race to try with your friends, but it's, yeah, it's one of the more difficult races. Most of this, you think you're staying on road, you're not. You're going off-road quite a bit of times. So my recommendation is just stay off-road a little as much as you can. But one of these days, I think what I'm gonna do is see what happens when I do one of these races on simulation damage. Simulation damage is not my best friend. It never has been. Every time I've used it, it's been something that's made me rage so hard. I know when I started the race, it said anything goes, but for this race especially, I recommend an all-wheel drive car because you are going to be doing some crazy off-road stunts like this, for example, and you do not want rear-wheel drive or you don't want to be doing if we're going uphill for most of these, you want the power of an all-wheel drive car. Then again, I just prefer all-wheel drive cars. Whoa. Yeah, I'm cheating it a little bit, but that's fine. If I remember correctly, if this is the race I'm thinking it is, there's a portion where you go flying. And there's also a portion on this track race that I really don't like. And that is something I will save for when I get there. But I think besides that little portion, I'm just gonna leave this as one continuous thing. Yeah, do not mind the racing line. In fact, I would recommend doing this race with no racing line. Just going on this Goliath path like normal. Actually, it's pretty close to the Goliath, but not. You're not doing what you do in the Goliath backwards. In fact, you're doing the complete opposite. I was watching a video on Forza earlier, like a while back, like last week, and I was thinking back. I was like, this game's been out since what, 2021? And people are just now figuring out, they're still figuring out metas for Horizon 5. Like, one I saw was saying that drag tires was good for drifting. And I'm like, I mean, it makes sense, because you want maximum slippiness while you're getting the speed. But at the same time, I'm like, huh? What? What's going on? How does that makes no sense, but also does make sense at the same time. But yeah. And this shouldn't even qualify as a drag race, to be completely honest. It should more qualify as a freaking cross-country. Yeah, that's another reason why you need all-wheel drive for this race. If you hit a tree, which I can almost guarantee you'll hit at least one, you'll hit a couple trees. when you hit a tree, when you back up, you want that power, and as soon as you back up, to just immediately kick in, and then the automatic speed when you accelerate to go forward. But if you're doing these races on sim damage, you're gonna hit your life. That's not gonna be the case because a lot of this is, if you do follow the driving line to the T, you're bound to hit a few trees and a few rocks. And those rocks will write your car off so fast. Now, I will say when I was doing this race, I wasn't making it with the intention of making sure cars get written off. But I noticed that was the case every time I've done this race. Oh my gosh. I'm used to the other race where you go past that, which you'll see in another video. Wait. Yeah, I get myself. And there's only, if I remember correctly, there's only like 3 checkpoints in this entire race. If I'm thinking correctly. But one thing I noticed is that the cars go a little bit too fast. Yeah, and when you go up the hills, you do want that all-wheel drive power of all tires going at the same time. It's, trust me, is useful. For all three of them, all three of first, second, and third, just completely dead stop. Me in second. No. Dang, I had a good lead too, and I just completely biffed it on that section. Bro, my car was gone. No. Come on. Oh, an X6. Wait, what? Why is this dude using the X6? You know what? I'm not even gonna try and understand. I would not recommend, I mean, I could recommend a drag race for this, a drag tycoon, especially with certain boards, but I don't think it is not necessary. But I think a car that would be amazing for this race is the off-road Porsche 911. I think it's the Safari 911, I think it's called. Yeah, Safari, yeah. Actually, I have to look at the name, I forgot. But, it's one of those cars I think would do really well on this race. Because of that off-road heritage, off-road rally heritage, which would do amazing, honestly. There is another car that I made that would be, actually another 2 cars that I made that would be perfect for this race. But those would be other videos. And this race has already been going for almost 20 minutes. actually a little bit less because, alright, let's see if I can, right, ooh, besides hitting a little tree in there, I did, so there's that portion sucks, unless you know exactly, like, where to go completely straight. Okay, that was sick. I just, like, skidded on my side. That was pretty good. Oh! Alright, for this portion, you're just going straight to the stadium. El Stadio. I think that's the name of it. Oh, well. It's not gonna show up, but I think it's El Stadio. The stadium, pretty much. Which always gets decorated for every frickin' Horizon season. That's the portion that I don't know how in the world I was able to get that driving line. I don't remember. I really don't remember. Because every other time I've just gone flying past it. Alright, going flying. And this bit is where you just go straight on to the highway to slowly finish this race off. And this is where it partially a reason why it could be considered a drag race. Partially. Because you've got this part and then you got that beginning part. This is just a highway drag race. This part right here reminds me of the race, or the decimation, if you will, of the Supra, this exact Supra, versus the Ferrari, which, if I remember correctly, was like a Mono or something like that. I don't remember. Or a Monza. Yeah, Monza. But, and I'm not gonna lie, every time I do this part, it reminds me of the song Superstar by Saliva, so it starts playing in my head. The sound that started playing during that scene in Fast and Furious. But you got this little portion. My brain really wants to call it a chicane, but I know it's not. I know for a fact it's not a chicane. But this is another race where if you race well, you're gonna DNF some people. I on the other hand, I've barely DNF'd anybody. In fact, I've barely won this race sometimes. But this, and that's usually because I'm in a different car. I usually only win if I'm in this Supra. But hey, that's fine by me because the Supra is one of the better drag cars in the world. Well, besides the Pro Stock, but that's only Forza. The Pro Stock's only good in Forza. It's not that good in the world. What did I just see? Ford GT. You know what? That's pretty cool. And there. That's that race done. First place too. 21 minutes. 21-minute race. Will I DNF anybody? Ferrari 250 Cali, Corvette E-Ray, MG1, Alfa Romeo. Yeah, I did see an Alfa Romeo, okay. A Macan and M2, 911 GT3 RS, AM Vantage, Ford GT, Macan Turbo, Corvette, Magen. Wow, that is okay. It's pretty crazy. Winner. I need to change that name, dude. Holy crap. This is another race that'll give you crazy XP. Basically, every time I've done one of these races, I've gotten a wheel spin. But with that being said, that is going to be the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you in the next video.